Welcome to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan, where we're going to cast and blast you right out of this world with some of the best hunting and fishing stories that you can't even imagine.
This is John Hennigan and our host Frank Selby, and all I can say is, Frank, there's just so much stuff going on. This is the time of the year that you just have to pick and choose, I guess.
Yeah.
But I know you got a lot of good stuff going on, and you've been busy. And besides that, your real business of guiding and renting your tackle shop.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, let me mention a couple things real quick. First of all, Alaska, officially it's closed, but we have a couple spots that, if anybody's interested in squeezing in, it's almost half price. Cheapest high-end Alaska trip you're going to find anywhere. $2,100 for five nights, 4 days fishing, and charter cruises and all-inclusive. And it's in Ketchikan, Alaska. It's Salmon Falls Resort, beautiful high-end resort. And we'll just mention it one more time in case there's some stragglers. But this is it. Best thing to do is just get in touch with me and see what we can fit you in on. If you don't go, then sometimes you just can't go, but this is a no-brainer. Yeah, if you ever want to go to a high-end lodge in Alaska, this is probably about half of what you normally expect to pay. So,
this is where you take your girlfriend.
Except this place you could, yeah. Girlfriend or wives, and it's just a beautiful area. A lot of stuff to do besides just hanging out on the water catching salmon and halibut and stuff. But anyway, give me a call. Go to my website, our website, which just go to fishtalkradio.com, and you'll find a way to get in touch with this. There's some contact information on there somewhere. Or my name is John at fishtalkradio.com. And if you do it in the next couple of days, we'll squeeze you in. But hurry up. Anyway, we're about out of time, Frank. But we got
we got some good guests.
Oh yeah. We're gonna start off with one that's in particular that we're gonna get to learn a lot of information from. So we're gonna be right back with you at Fish Hunt Talk Radio.
The Soft Science footbed absorbs the shock of pounding waves, engine vibration, and even rocky terrain. Soft Science shoes are roomy and relaxed, and they drain and dry quickly. Check out the Soft Science Fin fishing shoes and boots and the Fin H2O for kayaking and canoeing. They're lightweight, slip-resistant, and won't mark your deck. See the new styles for men and women and get your pair on at softscience.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELfunadventures.com.
If you are still using a plastic hard-shell cooler, things have changed for the better. AO coolers are lighter with twice the efficiency of the traditional bulky coolers. AO coolers are the best available soft-sided cooler with 3/4-inch high-density closed-cell foam insulation. They will keep ice frozen for 24 hours in hot weather. Easy to carry, less space, it fits product inside for better performance. Go to aocoolers.com to order or find a retailer. Available at West Marine.
With a long pedigree, the Snowbee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snowbee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snowbee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
Have you noticed the changes in Google lately? Did anybody line you out? You can't fake it anymore. They know who said it first, who said it best, who said it the most, who is the most popular, and that just happens to be me since the late 80s, which means that I can put up a page, a post, or a website, optimize it properly, spread it around to 22 million people, and put you on top of your results pages for your chosen searches basically overnight. WhiteMountainBusiness.com. Don't want to wait that long? Already have a website that you thought was optimized and doesn't rank anywhere? I can fix that too. Maybe you don't want to wait. Maybe you just want to call me. 928-228-9228. That's 928-228-9228. I've done it for literally thousands, and I can do it for you.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan and our host Frank Selby, who is one of the foremost guides. He's fished with anybody important and probably taught him how to do it. He's an expert tie flyer and has a tie shop in Newport Beach, and he still does guiding. And, of course, most important of all, he's hosting Fish Hunt Talk Radio. But thanks, Frank. Anyway, we have, again, it's been a long time, Matt, as we have Matt from Mustad Hooks. And it's always so interesting because the hook, you know, it's not just a bent piece of wire with a sharp edge on it. Not anymore, it isn't. And I like to learn as much as we can because there's so much that people don't understand. I mean, you talk about the length, the size, the style, and there's so many different ones. And I'm trying to see if I can get Matt to kind of simplify it, kind of break it down. I mean, you've got hooks for marlin, and you got hooks for, 3 or 4 inch fish, and you got flies. So can you possibly kind of group it together into what types of hooks for types of fishing, Matt?
Yeah, totally. Well, again, thank you guys for having me on. It's been a few months to get to talk with you all, so appreciate it. We've been pretty busy over here at Mustad, and as you kind of said, we make hooks for every variety of fishery as well as technique out there. We're at about 5,000 different part numbers, and for those of you guys who are familiar with the ICAST trade show, I think we launched about 1,000 new products at ICAST this year. So it's been a great year for Mustad. We not only are we still dedicated to the fishing space and providing options for every type of fishing, every type of fishery, every type of customer, but we're really deviating more from fishing now. We had some exciting products launched.
Oh, really? Like what?
This year. Yeah, we had, the kind of biggest news on the Mustad side, we recently acquired a new brand, so we now are owners of Toughline. So for those
Toughline?
West Coast
Oh, yeah, that's a big brand.
It's a big brand, yeah. We were excited. I mean, Western Filament, who is the company that manufactures Toughline, they are a state-of-the-art organization, state-of-the-art facility, and we now own Toughline as the fishing portion of that company.
Wow, good idea.
For those of you who fish braid, you've probably fished Toughline at some point in your life. So that was definitely some exciting news coming around ICAST this year. After that, we're kind of deviating a little bit more to than just being a hook brand. We have a lot of what you'd call slow fall or vertical jigs. So these are products that are used in the saltwater market.
Oh, kind of like butterfly jigs, or?
Yeah, like butterfly jigs. They're basically colored pieces of lead, and obviously they're coming with our hooks, and our what we call our J-assist rig. So it's basically the type of hook application that you would use for vertical jigging, which we've been selling those as an aftermarket piece for a number of years, and figured it was time to get in the game here and start making our own vertical jigs.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of within that same family, one of the most exciting products that came out of ICAST this year is this super lifelike, realistic octopus jig. We call it the Incubator system. So it's a lifelike baby octopus that comes in a few different weight ranges, several different colors. And the coolest thing about this is it comes with ink tablets that go in the head, and they dissolve a non-toxic, water-soluble ink into the water column.
Like the real thing.
For about 10 minutes to stimulate those fish bites. So
that's interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Well, a couple of quick comments. First of all, you can spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on rods and reels and line.
Yep.
But what's the single most important part of your gear?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always going to be the hook. Without the hook, there's no land in the fish.
Yeah, the other comment is that you guys take it serious. I mean, you actually start with the wire and do everything yourself to your standards. You don't, buy this and that and bend it a few times and put your name on it. You've got complete control over every part of the process.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we've been doing it that way since 1877. We own every single step in our supply chain and our production facility, which not a lot of other brands can. Let alone brands in the fishing space. Not a lot of brands can have that as their claim to fame. We as in Mustad also we really invented all the modern day hook bending machines that are on the market. Those were all invented by one of our engineers back in 1899, and are still used across the industry to this day. So we've had a lot of smart people work at Mustad and help to drive this brand forward. So it's exciting for sure.
Well, if there is one company that manufactures more hooks in the world than anybody, who would it be?
Oh, that would be us by a long shot.
Yeah.
we make 6 million hooks a day.
Whoa!
Let's put that into perspective a little bit.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible. 90% of every hook sold in the world is a Mustad hook.
Well, you're headquartered in Portland. Do you do any fabrication there?
Nope. I'm actually the only Mustad employee located here in Portland. Yeah, we have a production facility in Norway, in China, in the Dominican Republic, and our U.S. office is actually based in Miami, Florida. So they have the close proximity to working with our team there in the Dominican.
Well, I don't know if we have time to get into it too much right now, but hooks can be a little confusing. You read, and it says aught, single aught, double aught, and then you've got the shank size and the design. Can you just give some basic principles of what these things mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, hook sizes can range from extremely small, what we would use for like dry fly fishing, some size 20s, size 22s. So basically the hooks start on the small range at the higher numbers. So your 20s would be very small, then you go to 18s, 16s, 14s. Now when you start getting to the low numbers, when you start getting to 2 and then 1, it transitions to what you call 1/0. So if you're looking at a catalog or online, that would be the 1.
So 1 is smaller than a 1/0, and then you go the opposite direction.
Correct.
So
and you go the opposite way.
You go up to maybe a 10/0 or something you use for marlin.
Excuse me?
A 10/0, something that you'd be using for marlin.
Oh, yeah. You could use 10/0 for Marlin, 10, 11, 12/0. Those are all pretty popular. Here in the Northwest, guys are using our, 14, 16/0 hooks for the big halibut up in Washington and Alaska. We even make some hooks in the 24 and 26/0 range, which NOAA uses for catching and tagging great white shark.
I'll be darned. The other thing is the distance from the tip to the shank.
Yep.
What does that mean? And of course, different types of hooks, like a circle hook, where it bends back in towards the shank. You don't have much of a distance. But can you just comment on what that means?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that distance is called the gap, and that will apply to a couple things. That can apply to that can help benefit not only depending on what you're using for bait, but also for the application of the hook. You mentioned a circle hook. Now, the circle hooks, you actually don't set the hook on. So with a circle hook, the fish takes that bait and runs with it, and the tension of the line basically rotates that hook into the corner of the fish's mouth. So really, on a circle hook, you can have a smaller gap because all you're trying to do is just have that hook rotate around the fish's mouth
and get in the jaw.
Then just lodge right in the corner.
And by the way, you don't set the hook on circle hooks.
That is correct. You do not set the hook on circle hooks.
Just start let them run a little bit, and then just start winding.
Yeah, circle hooks are a great application if you're fishing in a scenario where you're putting rod in a rod holder or something like that. Something where you're not actively holding the rod and actively trying to fish it. If you have the rod sit in the rod holder, you wait till that thing goes tight and you start retrieving it.
Well, once it's set, you very rarely lose a fish on it because you're not going to pull it through its bone or mouth or anything where you can get loose. Once that's hooked in the jaw, it stays there.
Yeah, that's correct. And also with the circle hooks, they have very, very low fatality rates.
Yeah,
so we're actually
that's what for catch and release. Anyway, we are about out of time, but I'd like to spend a lot of time about what all these different things mean to different people and what type of hook to use where. But I don't think we're gonna have time to get into that now.
I'm always happy to come back on air. Maybe next time we could talk to some of the West Coast folks about some of the exciting products coming out here. We got a big coho salmon return that we're about to experience here. So we're gearing up and we're ready to rock and roll.
Sounds good. We appreciate that very much, Mac. Thanks for coming on. And we're going to make an effort to try and get you on more frequent because we like interesting things and we like people to learn. And I know I got a lot to learn. Thank you, buddy. You're listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio.
Fish on!
That's a big one.
For passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too. Shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
The East Cape of Baja, Mexico is world famous for sport fishing. Dorado, tuna, wahoo, marlin, sailfish, roosterfish, and pargo. The Van Wormer resorts make dreams come true at a price all can afford. Hotel Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol, and Hotel Punta Colorado have the biggest and best sport fishing fleet in all of Mexico. Call toll-free to 877-777-TUNA to find out how affordable world-class fishing can be. The finest resorts and the best boats in East Cape. Call 877-777-TUNA.
Vagabundos Del Mar Boat and Travel Club has 42 years experience introducing RVers to the joys of Mexico. Specializing in Baja, Vagabundos leads caravans and sponsors fishing tournaments, trailer boat cruises, and weekend getaways in Mexico and the West. Vagabundos Del Mar also saves its 10,000 members tons of money on low-cost auto insurance. Stay up to date on Mexican travel with the printed newsletter online at vagabundos.com or call 800-474-BAJA.
With a long pedigree, the Snow Bee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snow Bee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snow Bee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI-certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on SiriusXM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan on Fish. What is Puppy Dog doing here? Fish Hunt Talk Radio. And we have, of course, our host Frank is going to be taking care of most of this segment because Kesley Gallagher, who's Frank's been bragging on for the last couple of weeks or months at least. Oh, guess who I got? Guess who I got? Well, Frank, you got her, and it's all yours, buddy. It's all yours, buddy.
I'm proud to introduce Kesley. She has, in 2018, she was world champion tarpon fishing, women's tarpon fishing. She holds 10 line class records and 2 pending. Am I right so far?
Yes, you got it right.
Yeah, and I only got to meet her a few weeks back, but we both know about 30 of our friends, both of our friends, so it was really neat. Where's your favorite place to fish, Kesley?
I fly fish all over the place, so quite honestly, it's the place I'm fishing. I love fishing here in California on the coast for Corvina. I love going to the Florida Keys for tarpon. I love going to Belize for permit and tarpon, and of course North Andros for bonefish, and of course Oahu. So it doesn't really matter so long as I'm pursuing something, pursuing a big fish. You know, wherever I am, I love being there.
The hardest place to catch a bonefish is in Huntington Harbor.
I would say actually I would still put Oahu at the top of that list. The triangle right outside the airport. Those are some of the toughest bonefish days I've ever had.
But you're like me. You got a friend that can get you on the base.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the way to go. But that doesn't make the fishing any easier.
It does.
No, more opportunity, yeah, but it doesn't make it any easier.
if you listen to God, you will hook up.
Okay.
Am I wrong or am I right?
Well, he certainly does talk to you when you're on the flats. I mean, with all the beautiful visions and the fish themselves, he's always there.
Yeah. So, do you have a website or anything, or a...
Well,
what do they call it?
I actually, my social media sites are my website, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if you go to Instagram, I'm under Steely Chick, SteeliChick, and of course I'm under Kesley Gallagher on Facebook. So it's just how I keep everyone up to date about what I'm doing. I have written articles, and of course you saw me presenting on the Southern California circuit for the Fly Fishing Club.
Yeah. I used to be on that. That's too much trouble anymore.
It is. It was a lot of work. And my boss at Amgen said, "Are you ever going to come back?" So it was fun though, meeting all these people and different viewpoints about fly fishing and, you know, the interest out there to, you know, improve and expand the sport.
Yes, and that's what I really like to get women. I call all ladies girls, and I apologize to all women out there listening. But I love to fish with girls more than I do with men. They listen more, and they will tell you exactly what they think when they think it. And I love that about women.
I guess it's refreshing.
Kesley, this
and she is so sweet. I invited her and a friend of ours to go fishing for yellowtail and calico bass at Horseshoe Kelps in Long Beach. And she said she would. So everybody on the air, if she does it, for the next 3 weeks, you're going to hear me griping if she doesn't contact me.
Yes, go ahead.
Kesley, this
Sorry.
is John. Quick question.
Yeah.
Frank is a fly angler for sure. Ties his own flies, but Frank likes to catch fish, and I know that on occasion he may use conventional gear depending on the situation. But what about you? Are you a purist where you fish only with a fly, or you just try and do what works best? Usually, almost any type of fishing, the fly works best, but give us an idea about your thoughts.
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I've been on redfish flats in Mosquito Lagoon, which is pretty difficult. And I have outfished people who are using conventional gear. So for me, I just stick with the fly because I know it's not going to disappoint me. But there are situations, say for striper on the flats in Maine, where we've had to use a popper on conventional gear to bring the fish closer to the boat. So you can work in tandem, and of course, with a big billfish, you need to do that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely. I haven't really picked up a conventional rod in years, So I am, you could say, a purist, but if you're going to have to catch fish in some situations, you have to go to conventional.
Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned,
I haven't found a fish I couldn't catch on a fly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You might catch fewer, but they can be caught.
Yeah, the only thing is what he's talking about. A lot of times I do the children's homes and stuff like that, or I'm with a group that none of them fly fish, and we have 3 or 4 people on the boat. I will drop a rod over the side. But 9/10 of the time I'm fly fishing. Even I won the bet 2 years ago up in Alaska. They said I couldn't catch a halibut
I
on
said
the fly.
that. Frank said he wanted to catch a halibut on the fly. And I said, Frank, if anybody can do it, I'm sure it's going to be you, but you don't fly fish for halibut.
I do.
Well, Frank.
I do.
Frank.
I do.
Frank got his halibut.
In Alaska, that's tough. I mean, I catch halibut off Long Beach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fairly easy.
Well, generally they're on the bottom, so it's you got to get to where they are.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And also, halibut normally follow a scent, and they're looking for bait. And that's not a fly.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you get close to a halibut, they'll hit it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They lay in wait for something to come by them. You can actually watch them in the surf. See them when the fly goes by them. You see this puff, and they're on.
Yeah. And it's great when they're, like, I don't know, in California, the California halibut will chase bait and they'll boil. And you'll see them fly through the water like a pancake, and you just cast at the boil, and they're going to be on fairly quickly.
Yeah, you can see them out to 50, 60 feet of water chasing anchovies on the top.
Yep.
I've only caught 2 on the top. A couple more questions.
Sure.
Well, who's your favorite guide? Oh, boy, I'm putting you in a bad spot. Who's the top 3 that you love to fish with?
Well, obviously, one of them is my guide in the Keys, who guided me to that championship last year, Luis Cortez. He's actually a firefighter most of the time, but he's a guide. He grew up in the Keys, so he's got fantastic local knowledge of both the ocean and the glades. So if you want snook, tarpon, permit, he's your guy. And we've spent days together on board, and the fact that he can put up with me for that long makes him probably an exceptional, not only guide, but a human being. And another favorite of mine is Eric Wallace. He guides for striper up in Maine, and it's on the flats. So it's a different type of fishing, but, anytime you can get a striper chasing on the flats and you can see him, it's well worth the trip. And, of course, another one out here in Southern California is Vaughn Podmore. He can really put you on fish out there in Catalina. And, I love chasing yellowtail with him when the season's in. So a great guy.
Vaughn and me have been friends since he walked in my shop 30 years ago and wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We fished together for a lot of years.
He taught me quite a bit about the pelagics, and especially calico bass and yellowtail. Yeah. So it was a great time.
Yeah, Vaughn, he'll do both more than anybody, I think. He takes conventional or fly, but he's in my opinion, he's one of the best down in our area. There's 3 I really like, and Vaughn is top of the scale.
Absolutely. Oh.
And so are you fishing up by Ventura once in a while for the big red tail?
Close to Ventura, though, we're this time of year we're searching for Corbina. The tide this weekend, it's going to be very low in the morning. So this is when when I start looking for Corbina, probably the end of June through July and August. And I try to target those early morning low tides so that I can actually see the fish pushing in. And, of course, there are less surfers on the beach to catch, so you have a lot of the beach to yourself. But that's what I'm targeting now. And, like, last weekend I saw a lot of leopard sharks in the surf, and I thought, it would be fun to go for those as well. Take a bright red fly and a 9-weight with a wire leader, and, there you go. It's something I've never accomplished, but something I always wanted to do, is get a leopard shark on fly.
Yeah, you don't need a wire leader.
Okay. Maybe just heavy tip it, like a 100-pound bite?
Yeah.
No?
You come down here in September, I'll have you hooked up 3 or 4 times in less than an hour. I have a special fly that works really good. I guarantee it.
Well, Scott and I will be up for that. That sounds great.
We might run over to Catalina at that time and fish them right off by the little island. There's a spot, there's thousands of them in there, and there's usually a few young makos swimming with them. And you can count them by the 1,000, not by 10 or 12.
Wow.
And I will take you to 2 secret spots, but I'm blindfolding you.
There you go. Hey, Frank, on that note, we're going to have to let Kelsey go. Kesley. Kesley. We're going to have to let Kesley get back to work. You are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Tune us in. Go to the website, fishtalkradio.com, and listen to it as many times as you want. And we'll be right back with you.
Road stretches for miles in front of you, and with the Ram 1500, you'll be able to reach mile after open mile. It gets a best-in-class 25 miles per gallon highway, so your destination won't just be determined by your gas gauge, but by your gauge for achievement. And the Ram 1500 is the first ever back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Guts, glory, Ram. See your local Ram dealer today for great deals. EPA estimated 25 mpg highway based on V6 4x2.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Sirius XM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing. A few years ago, a sailor set out to design a boat shoe that was comfortable and stable, non-skid, and wouldn't mark the decks. Today, these incredibly comfortable shoes are worn by anglers, boaters, professional guides, and charter captains. Go to SoftScience.com to see more. Soft Science shoes and boots are lightweight and shock absorbent with just the right level of support. Several styles come in all sizes. Enjoy the Soft Science shoe in the water and out. Check them out at SoftScience.com. Alaskan RV Butler. Guiding, fishing, hiking, sightseeing, adventure. The Alaskan RV Butler. Like a cruise on wheels in the comfort of an RV, view the wonders of Alaskan interior, streams, ocean, and wildlife. Or fish for the big one, all while pampered by Mike, the Alaskan RV Butler. Mike's inclusive tours serve butter-drenched shellfish and mouth-watering steaks. Mike is your personal chef, chauffeur, guide, and planner. And for the real Alaska, contact MikeRVButler at gmail.com. That's MikeRVButler at gmail.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELFunadventures.com.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan and our host, Frank Selby. And
I'm here always.
Frank, we've
got a special guest today.
Who's that, Frank?
John.
John Spar. And Bob, no, I'm John. It's Bob Spar. Frank.
Bob.
Anyway.
First thing I'd like you to do is get out your website so everybody can know where you're at. And where you've been on before, you know the routine.
Yeah, my website's bobsparre.com, and that's S-P-A-R-R-E.
So B-Sparre, S-P-A-R-R-E. B-Sparre.
Bob Sparre. Yeah, Bob Sparre.
Oh, it is Bob. Bob Sparre.
Yep.
Okay, I've got something different down here. Oh, there it is, another one. Bobsparre.com, S-P-A-R-R-E. All righty, and let's see if we can give people a reason to want to get in touch with you. Bob, would you kind of give us an idea of where you are and what you do?
So right now we're fishing around Sacramento, and I fish down in the bay and then all the way up above Chico on the Sac and then the American and the Feather. So right now, because it's salmon time, that's what we're doing. You know, with shad season just is winding down, and that was really, really good this year. It was a lot of fun. So salmon are just starting to trickle in, so we're not fishing every day yet, but here probably within 2 or 3 weeks we will be.
So you got a few openings for them, right?
Yeah, right now we have lots of openings because everybody's waiting for me to say it's time to go.
I always like to go when there's only a few in the river because the less boats on the river, the more fun I have. Even if I only catch one, I'm more happy than be with 50 boats and catch 5.
Well, I would have to agree with about the crowds. I do not like crowds at all. But we have such a large system here with the Sacramento Valley that, you know, I avoid crowds almost at all costs because they have to go through all the sections to get where they're going. So I find areas that we can still catch a lot of fish and not be crowded with.
Well, the other part of it, Bob, is Frank is a fly angler, and you can't go shoulder to shoulder and have any success doing that.
No, you can't. Makes it really tough.
Yeah, but I like tough. The harder it is, the more gratification I get when I get them.
Barb, you've got a list of, you mentioned some of the different fish that you go after. Could we kind of go over those one at a time?
Sure.
You've got, well, first of all, salmon, that would be the silvers, I assume.
No, it's all kings.
Oh, it is?
Yep. We only have kings in our valley rivers. California, you can't keep the silver.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Kings, and do they get any size?
No, not right now. I mean, they're, you know, out in the ocean, they're getting them anywhere from about 10 pounds to 20 pounds, but we're waiting for them to show up in the river. And, you know, they average, when they get in the river, anywhere from about 12 to 20 pounds. Mm-hmm. Occasionally we'll get them bigger, you know, 30, 40 pounds every once in a while, but that's after catching a lot of fish.
Oh, yeah, a 12-pound salmon is a lot of steaks or a lot of fillets.
Oh, it is.
And they
absolutely.
do taste good, and they're fun to catch.
Yep.
And then you also, I think most people know about that. And then stripers, you've got, those are, what, in the Delta mostly?
No, well, they come up through the ocean into the Delta, and then after the Delta, they come up the river to spawn. So they'll come up the Sacramento, and they'll come up the Feather River and the Yuba River to spawn. So that typically happens in the springtime. And we always have some striper that we can catch, but... You know, most of them come up in the spring, they spawn, and they turn around, they go back through the Delta into the ocean.
Okay, now, stripers or striped bass is, first of all, they're a lot of fun to catch, and they also are very tasty fish, you know, on the table. And then you mentioned steelhead, which I assume you probably don't keep too many of those, right? What's the
No, we don't keep too many steelhead. They, you know, they're not as plentiful as our other fish. But they're good to eat. You can keep some hatchery fish.
Okay.
So depending on what river you're fishing, there you can keep 1 or 2 fish if they're hatchery.
And then you mentioned sturgeon. Now that's an interesting fish.
Sturgeon, yeah, they're a lot of fun to catch.
Well, they are. It's not like they get up in the water and run. I mean, they'll come up and roll around a few times, but you know they can get pretty good size. And there, I assume, what's the slot limit for sturgeon where you are?
So we have a slot limit here in California of 40 to 60 inches.
That's all.
And that's from the fork of the tail to the nose. So it's not total length; it's the fork to the nose. So got to make sure that you know those regulations. But yeah, that's a good sized sturgeon. You get a lot of meat off one of those fish.
Well, not only that, the sturgeon is, you know, it's not a catfish. The meat on a sturgeon is firm. It's white. It's kind of like lobster.
Correct. Absolutely, it's a very firm meat, and there's no bones.
Yeah, just cartilage. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, and then we're going to move to shad. I've never gone after shad. I'm not sure why people do. How big do they get?
They average about 1.5 to 4.5 pounds. Occasionally, you'll get one a little bit bigger, but they are super fun to catch. That's why everybody likes shadfish. They have a forked tail, kind of like a tuna, and so they can fight really good. And we use ultralight gear, 6-pound test, and in an evening, usually that's the best time to catch them. We'll go out from about 4 o'clock to dark, and you can catch 40 to 60, 70 fish. So there's a lot of action. Kids love it. Adults love it. People that have never caught a fish love it. So it's a good way to introduce people into fishing.
Fishing is great.
One thing about shad, don't jerk too hard. All you have is a set of lips.
Yeah.
They do have a very soft mouth.
Yeah.
You got to play them.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned kokanee, which is it's a red. But tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the kokanee in our lakes, they plant them in many different lakes around, in the foothills, and then, Berryessa has them also, which towards the coast a little bit. And, we troll with downriggers. And, they're small fish, good ones 15, 16 inches, but they're really tasty fish to eat.
Oh, yeah, but reds, there's nothing that tastes as good as those. Red meat, and it's even more flavorful than a king, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, the best to do with them is smoke them. That's the best smoked fish you'll ever have.
Smoking is very good, yeah. I do like to smoke them myself.
Yeah. Just
use sugar, brown.
Yeah, I use brown sugar and syrup and a little bit of salt.
And
I use a little bit of rock salt.
Yeah, or you can just air dry them, just like the Eskimos do.
Yep.
And then you mentioned trout, and I suppose there are trout everywhere, but you probably go farther north for those, don't you?
Well, we do more of the trout in the lakes. We can fish on the Sacramento up by Redding for trout, and that's a very popular area. But for me myself, I'd like to fish the lakes for them. So we control for them at like Folsom Lake and in Berryessa.
Tell us, you're a guide, but tell us about your operation. Do you have a lodge that you put people in, or do you just do you work for an outfitter, or give us an idea about your operation?
No, I've been doing it on my own for 31 years, and I don't put anybody in a lodge because right here in the valley where we're at, we can be flexible on where we fish depending on where the fish are at. So I just tell people where the motel a couple days before the trip, where we're going to meet, where the best fishing is, and that way we can stay on top of the fish for longer periods of time. If you were to have a boat that was in a marina, then you'd be stuck fishing one location, and these fish are migratory, so you got to stay on top of them.
Yeah.
So we sometimes we'll go drive 2 hours to get to the best bite, and other times, they're right in our backyard, 5 minutes away.
Yeah. But you do tell them a couple of nice hotels to stay in or whatever.
Yeah. Got a whole list of nice hotels to stay at, and it's fairly easy to get a room, so that's not an issue.
I keep threatening to come up every couple of months when I talk to you, but I think the best time is coming up here in about 2 weeks, maybe, that you'll get the more heavy run of the salmon.
2 to 3 weeks, we're going to start seeing numbers of fish where I feel comfortable taking people out. I don't like taking people for a boat ride. I want to catch some fish, so that's what we do. We'll just hold off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And that's what makes you up on the top end of the people, because you don't tell them, come on, when there's no fish in the river, and I respect that.
Yeah, doing this for 31 years, your goal is to get repeat clients, and if you just tell them all the time it's always good, they won't keep coming out with you because it's not always good.
Good.
You promised last time. You promised to call me when the shad were in heavy. You did not call me. Next year, you better call me, or I'm going to come up there and scream at you.
Will do. Yeah, this year was actually an excellent year because we had a lot of high water, and when we have high water, it's cold water, and just drove a lot of shad into the American River, which was an extremely good year.
Bob,
bumper crop, huh?
Bob, we're getting a little short on time. Is there any tips on any of these species that we mentioned that you might want to mention to people about the method of catching, say, stripers or sturgeon?
Well, a couple tips for that is, sturgeon, you just got to be very patient. You got to locate them first. A lot of times, you got to spend an hour or two finding them and then anchor. And just don't go and drop anchor anywhere because they're only in 10% of the water. So that's what I recommend with sturgeon. And then with stripers, again, locate them first. Try to locate a big school of them. Don't try to find one or two.
Oh, okay.
We're looking for hundreds.
Well, on sturgeon, from what I understand, is they tend to like the deep holes, and then they'll come up the side of the pole and eat right off around the rim. So what you want to do is fish off the edge of the holes. Does that sound right?
No, not actually. Actually, I do a lot of just the opposite. I fish in super shallow water, like 3 to 4 feet for sturgeon. They come into some clam beds that I know where they're at, and when they're in that shallow water, they're in there feeding for a reason. So. Yeah, we do fish deep holes too, but shallow water's my favorite.
All right, well, on that, we're going to have to let you go. Unfortunately, we really appreciate you coming on, and Bob, you're very interesting, and we learned a lot, and we always do that. So your part of the world is a great place to go. They want to get in touch with you. They got your website. That's Bob's Bar, and we really appreciate you coming on. You are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Go to the website and listen to us as many times as you want, and I think you can still go to Snowbee. When you place the order, put Fish Talk Radio and get 20% off.
The Soft Science footbed absorbs the shock of pounding waves, engine vibration, and even rocky terrain. Soft Science shoes are roomy and relaxed, and they drain and dry quickly. Check out the Soft Science Fin fishing shoes and boots and the Fin H2O for kayaking and canoeing. They're lightweight, slip-resistant, and won't mark your deck. See the new styles for men and women and get your pair on at softscience.com. Used by fishermen who know where to get the best fishing gear around, AFTCO makes the highest quality fishing rod components worldwide. If it says AFTCO, you know you have a quality rod. Guy Harvey Clothing, the best outdoor clothing line anywhere, is also available through AFTCO. Longest lasting, functional, and best looking clothing you'll be proud to wear. Only the very best materials and workmanship. As soon as you put it on, you'll know the difference. Look for AFTCO at quality retailers or go to aftco.com.
Have you noticed the changes in Google lately? Did anybody line you out? You can't fake it anymore. They know who said it first, who said it best, who said it the most, who is the most popular, and that just happens to be me since the late 80s, which means that I can put up a page, a post, or a website, optimize it properly, spread it around to 22 million people, and put you on top of your results pages for your chosen searches basically overnight. WhiteMountainBusiness.com. Don't want to wait that long? Already have a website that you thought was optimized and doesn't rank anywhere? I can fix that too. Maybe you don't want to wait. Maybe you just want to call me. 928-228-9228. That's 928-228-9228. I've done it for literally thousands, and I can do it for you.
Fish on!
It's a big one.
For passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too, shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
Oh, hey.
welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and we have our host, Frank Selvey. Frank's joining in.
I'm right here.
And we have the original. Anybody that's been fishing for any time at all knows the name of Procure. I don't know if they were the first on the market, but by far and away the biggest, hugest. How many tons of fish do you process in a month to get the scent?
Well, quite a few. I mean, they're grinding anywhere from 3,000 pounds a day up to 20.
Yeah, now that's big. And you actually use real fresh fish to make your fish scent. You grind them up or whatever you do and then put different things with them, and then you use them as fish attractors, and it works. And the reason you're so big, been around for so long, is that it really works. I think some fish it works better on than others. No one in Alaska puts a line down without having some they call it butt up there, they call it butt juice for halibut. But it works, and everybody uses it. And then there's other different species that it works very well on, but it really works pretty much for anything. And this is the guy you want to talk to.
Yeah, we're currently buying 48 different baits from across the U.S. and then grinding them up. And we make species specific. I mean, we make a calico cocktail for the Southern California cocktail bass.
Oh.
And then we do a ladyfish for the guys in Florida. So yeah, there's there's bait out there that we can legally harvest for a specific fishery. We will buy it, grind it up, and sell it back to that market.
Well, just talk about fish for just a second, especially when you're fishing deep. There's no light down there. Now, fish, they don't use the same white light that we do, so they can see better than we do. But they go more from the olfactory to find their bait. Is that right?
Correct. And we're putting UV in everything we process. So that takes the light from the sky and transfers it down to your bait. And it'll, even in the salt water, they say the UV actually travels further than in fresh water. So it's about 280 feet deep, according to some of the reports I've read.
Wow.
In the salt water, and about 230 feet in fresh.
Wow. But
even on a cloudy day, I tell you, that light in the sky it transfers down to your bait, and it really makes a difference.
And that's what the UV is in the bait for.
Correct. Yes. And then the only other thing we add on the real bait is the bite stimulants, which just triggers the fish to feed.
Yes.
But other than that, the anchovy's pure anchovy, right? I mean, no oatmeal fillers or anything like that. It's just head, tail, and everything in between ground up.
So all you got to do is put it in a pot and make some fish stew.
There you go.
There you go.
We are not inspected by the federal government, so it is not for human consumption. But a lot of the baits coming in are food grade when they hit our factory.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it's just amazing. And you do all of this out of Portland, right?
Salem, Oregon.
Oh,
so
Salem.
About 45
well, same thing.
minutes south of Portland.
Yeah, man. I'd like to get out there sometime and see your facility. I mean, when you're talking about that kind of volume, what's it smell like in the factory?
Well, that's the problem. It does get into your skin. If you spend any time in the factory, when you climb in your car at the end of the day and close the door, you know you've been somewhere.
Yeah, fishy.
The aroma takes over the car very quickly. So we have showers on site, and the guys usually shower before they and change clothes before they go home for the end of the day.
All right. Well, it looks like, it looks like we're out of time. Yeah, we got about 10 seconds. Anyway, we would like to thank Steve Lynch from Procure, and it's Procure, what is it? Procure.com. What's your website?
Yeah, pro-cure.com.
Pro-cure.com. And just get in touch and find out what you're going to go fishing for, and whatever you go, whatever you're doing, they got it for you. Thank you a lot, Steve. We appreciate that. We'll try and get you back in.
Hey, great, guys.
You're listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Go to the website. Listen as many times as you want. One quick last thing. We mentioned Alaska. If you want to get in, you have to do it right now. And that was Salmon Falls. Go to the website under Real Fun Adventures. Thanks for tuning in.